Hello everyone. Fats are often blamed as the villain of our diets, but today we are going to uncover the real clinical blueprint of dietary fats, moving from molecular biochemistry all the way to evidence based dietary guidelines. Let us start by defining and classifying lipids. Physically, at 20 degrees Celsius, if a lipid is solid, we call it a fat, and if it is liquid, we call it an oil. In terms of synthesis and storage, the human body synthesizes triglycerides and cholesterol endogenously, and 99% of body fat in adipose tissue is stored as triglycerides, making up 10 to 15% of normal body weight. A key metric to remember is that 1 kilogram of adipose tissue holds 7,700 kilocalories of energy. In terms of classification, dietary lipids are divided into simple lipids such as triglycerides, compound lipids such as phospholipids, and derived lipids such as cholesterol. Fats play a dual role in the body, acting both as an energy engine and as structural architecture. As a caloric engine, fats are a high energy source, yielding 9 kilocalories per gram. They spare proteins from being metabolized for energy, provide thermal insulation beneath the skin, and physical support for viscera like the heart, kidney, and intestine, and act as a vital vehicle for fat soluble vitamins. As non caloric infrastructure, fats maintain the structural integrity of the cell membrane and decrease platelet adhesiveness. They serve as precursors to prostaglandins, which are local hormones controlling vascular hemostasis, kidney function, acid secretion, gastrointestinal motility, and reproduction. And cholesterol serves as an essential precursor for steroid hormones and bile acids. Dietary fat comes from both visible and invisible sources. From animal sources, visible fat includes ghee, butter, and separated fats, which are mostly saturated except for marine oils, while invisible fat includes milk, cheese, eggs, fatty meats, poultry, and fish, which are rich in polyunsaturated fatty acids and DHA. From plant sources, visible fat includes cooking oils extracted from seeds and nuts like groundnut, mustard, and sesame, while invisible fat is found in cereals, pulses, nuts, and vegetables. In India, invisible fats contribute the major share of total fat intake due to high cereal and pulse consumption. For reference, rice contains about 3% fat, wheat about 3%, jowar about 4%, bajra about 6.5%, and pulses and legumes between 1.5 to 3%. Now let us look at the molecular players, starting with saturated fatty acids. The biochemical principle here is that hydrolysis of fats yields fatty acids and glycerol, and it is the fatty acids that dictate the fat's biological impact. Saturated fatty acids are defined as fatty acids with no double bonds, with examples including lauric, palmitic, and stearic acids. Their structure is a straight chain that is tightly packed. Their sources are predominantly animal fats like ghee, butter, and meat, though there are botanical exceptions. Coconut oil at 92% saturated fat and palm kernel oil at 83% saturated fat are exceptionally high in saturates despite being plant based. In terms of health impact, replacing saturated fatty acids with polyunsaturated fatty acids decreases LDL cholesterol concentration and reduces the total to HDL cholesterol ratio, actively decreasing coronary heart disease risk. On the other hand, replacing saturated fatty acids with carbohydrates lowers both LDL and HDL, keeping the total to HDL ratio unchanged. Next are the protective lipids, the unsaturated fatty acids, which come in two types. Monounsaturated fatty acids have a single double bond, as seen in oleic acid, and their primary sources are mustard or rapeseed oil at 65%, canola at 60%, rice bran at 43%, and groundnut at 41%. Their clinical benefit is that replacing carbohydrates with monounsaturated fatty acids increases HDL, and replacing saturated fatty acids with them reduces LDL and the total to HDL ratio. Polyunsaturated fatty acids have multiple double bonds, as seen in linoleic acid and alpha linolenic acid, and their primary sources are safflower oil at 75%, sunflower at 62%, corn at 50%, cottonseed at 48%, and fish oils rich in EPA and DHA. Their clinical benefit is that they reduce serum cholesterol, and a minimum of 6% energy intake is recommended to lower LDL, increase HDL, and prevent coronary heart disease events. Among these, essential fatty acids are indispensable molecules. By definition, essential fatty acids cannot be synthesized by the human body and must be derived exclusively from food. And it is important to note that not all polyunsaturated fatty acids are essential. There is a hierarchy here. Omega 6 or N 6 fatty acids are represented by linoleic acid, which serves as the biological basis for other essential fatty acids like arachidonic acid, and its dietary sources include safflower oil at 73%, corn oil at 57%, sunflower oil at 56%, and soybean oil at 51%. Omega 3 or N 3 fatty acids are represented by alpha linolenic acid, which is crucial for preventing coronary heart disease and degenerative diseases of aging, and its dietary sources include flaxseed at 53%, mustard or rapeseed at 14%, soya bean at 7%, and leafy greens. Marine polysaturated fatty acids, represented by eicosapentaenoic acid or EPA, are sourced from fish oil at about 10%. When essential fatty acids are severely deficient in the diet, a clinical condition called phrenoderma or toad skin can develop. Its pathology is associated with a severe deficiency of essential fatty acids, and its symptoms are characterized by rough, dry skin with horny papular eruptions on the posterior and lateral limbs, back, and buttocks. Epidemiologically, it has been notably reported in specific Indian states including Kerala, Karnataka, and Gujarat. The cure protocol involves rapid reversal through administration of linseed or safflower oil, which are rich in essential fatty acids, combined with B complex vitamins. In terms of target nutrient goals set by the Food and Agriculture Organization and the World Health Organization, the minimum threshold to prevent deficiency and promote optimal health is 2.5% of energy from linoleic acid plus 0.5% of energy from alpha linoleic acid. Now, let us turn to the industrial intervention that has significantly altered the fat landscape, the hydrogenation pipeline. The input is liquid vegetable oils, which are high in polysaturated fatty acids but have a low shelf life. Inside the intervention chamber, using optimum temperature, high pressure, and a catalyst, two paths are possible. Path A is partial hydrogenation, which creates trans fatty acids, geometrical isomers, and destroys critical double bonds in essential fatty acids, resulting in drastically increased shelf life but severe health risks. Path B is full hydrogenation, which converts unsaturated fatty acids entirely into saturated acids, resulting in a semi solid or solid fat consistency. This industrial process gives us engineered outputs like Vanaspati and various packaged foods. Vanaspati, or partially hydrogenated vegetable oil, is marketed as vegetable ghee, and it possesses ghee like consistency and excellent keeping quality in hot, humid climates. However, since it lacks natural fat soluble vitamins, it is government mandated to be fortified with 2500 international units of vitamin A and 175 international units of vitamin D per 100 grams. While natural trans fats exist in small amounts in dairy and meat, Industrial partial hydrogenation is the primary threat, with major sources including deep fried fast foods, cake mixes, energy bars, chips, whipped toppings, packaged cookies, donuts, and street foods. This brings us to the trans fat threat and its atherogenic hazards. The biochemical mechanism is that trans fatty acids are geometrical isomers of cis unsaturated fatty acids that unnaturally adopt a saturated like configuration. This creates a lipid profile that is more atherogenic than saturated fats, representing a double hazard. Trans fats not only elevate LDL, the bad cholesterol, but simultaneously actively decrease HDL, the good cholesterol, dramatically increasing the total to HDL cholesterol ratio. Clinically, large cohort studies definitively link trans fatty acid intake to increased risk of coronary heart disease events. And critically, it takes years for trans fatty acids to be flushed from the body. Unbalanced fat intake leads to several systemic health outcomes, which can be understood through a four quadrant matrix. First, coronary heart disease, where high fat intake above 40% of energy, along with high saturated and trans fats, act as major risk factors. Since LDL and VLDL fractions are highly atherogenic, and an inverse relationship exists between essential fatty acid intake and coronary heart disease mortality. Second, obesity, where fat rich diets encourage caloric surplus, and in obese individuals, adipose tissue can increase up to 30% of total body weight. Third, oncology, where emerging epidemiological evidence links diets high in total fat to an increased risk of colon cancer and breast cancer. Fourth, protein energy malnutrition, where the skin lesions of kwashiorkor display distinct morphological similarities to those induced by essential fatty acid deficiency, prompting ongoing research into their association. To guide healthy intake, global standards have been set by the World Health Organization and the Indian Council of Medical Research. Total fat should make up 15 to 30% of energy, with a minimum of 20%. Within this, saturated fatty acids should be less than 10% of energy. Polyunsaturated fatty acids should be 6 to 10%, split between omega 6 at 5 to 8% and omega 3 at 1 to 2%. Trans fatty acids should be less than 1% of energy, and the remaining share comes from monounsaturated fatty acids. An additional target is dietary cholesterol below 300 milligrams per day. For visible fat intake specifically, Indian recommendations suggest a minimum of 25 grams for sedentary adult men, rising to 40 grams for heavy activity, 20 grams for sedentary adult women, rising to 30 grams for heavy activity, and at least 30 grams per day for pregnant and lactating women to furnish 20% of total energy. So, how do we put this into practice at the plate? The core principle is that complete dependence on just one vegetable oil cannot ensure the recommended intake of varied fatty acids. So, blending oils in a 1 to 1 ratio is essential. One equation for optimal balance combines groundnut, sesame, rice bran, or cottonseed oil with mustard, rapeseed, canola, or soya bean oil to balance linoleic acid with linoleic and alpha linoleic acid. Another equation combines sunflower or safflower oil with palmoline, palm oil, olive or groundnut oil to balance high linoleic acid with low to moderate linoleic acid. For cooking applications, frying should use oils with high thermal stability like palm oil, palm moline, sesame, rice bran, and cottonseed oil. And as a restriction, butter and ghee should be limited, and partially hydrogenated vegetable oil should be strictly avoided as a cooking or frying medium. To summarize, understanding dietary fats means differentiating between the metabolic utility of energy dense saturated fatty acids and the critical non caloric architectural roles of essential polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fatty acids. It means prioritizing essentiality, actively sourcing linoleic acid and alpha linolenic acid from diverse plant sources to prevent deficiency and build cardiovascular resilience. It means neutralizing the industrial threat, eliminating trans fatty acids and partially hydrogenated vegetable oils entirely from the diet to protect the LDL to HDL ratio and prevent atherosclerosis. And finally, it means executing at the plate, relying on visible and invisible fat synergy, and using calculated one to one oil blending strategies to meet the World Health Organization and Indian Council of Medical Research energy goals without exceeding systemic risk thresholds. Hope you have understood about the topic fats, types, fatty acids, and its features. If you found this video useful, please like and share with your friends and colleagues. Thank you.